I, 32F, need to provide some background to explain the current situation with my sister Amy, 28F. Our parents divorced when I was 12 and Amy was 8. The split was messy. Dad had an affair with his secretary and moved in with her immediately after leaving. Amy idolized Dad and chose to live with him despite his betrayal. I stayed with Mom, who was devastated but did her best to provide for me. Our grandparents stepped in to help during this difficult time. Since Mom worked 2 jobs to make ends meet, I spent most weekends and school holidays at their Victorian house. Grandpa was a retired chef who taught me everything about cooking. We spent hours in his kitchen, and he always said I was the only one who appreciated his culinary secrets. Grandma was an avid gardener who showed me how to nurture plants and maintain her beautiful rose garden. Those years shaped who I am today. Amy, on the other hand, treated our grandparents' house like a hotel. She'd show up randomly when she wanted money or needed a place to crash after partying. She knew exactly how to manipulate them. She'd cry about how hard it was living with Dad's new wife, who actually treated her well, or how she needed money for school supplies, which she spent on clothes and makeup. Grandma always gave in, even though I could see it hurt her when Amy would leave immediately after getting what she wanted. After college, I became an accountant and bought a small apartment nearby to stay close to family. I still visited our grandparents every weekend, helping Grandma with housework and cooking with Grandpa. Amy went to college for 1 semester before dropping out to pursue modeling. She created this whole fake persona on social media, borrowing designer clothes and returning them, sneaking into high-end hotels to take photos in their lobbies, pretending to live a luxury lifestyle while actually couch surfing at friends' places. During these years, she only visited Grandma and Grandpa on major holidays, and even then she'd spend the whole time taking selfies in their garden or staging photos with the food they prepared. She never helped clean up, never asked how they were doing, never showed any real interest in their lives. But she had no problem asking them for money for modeling classes or portfolio shoots. Everything changed 5 years ago when Grandpa had a severe stroke. I was at work when Grandma called, sobbing. I left immediately to drive them to the hospital. Amy didn't answer any of our calls. She posted Instagram stories from a club that night, clearly having seen our messages but choosing to ignore them. After Grandpa's stroke, he needed constant care. Grandma was too elderly to manage alone, and hiring full-time care was beyond their means. I made the decision to move in with them. My company was understanding and let me work remotely. I converted their dining room into my bedroom/office and developed a routine around Grandpa's care needs. During the entire 5 years I lived with them, Amy visited exactly 3 times. The first visit lasted 20 minutes, she said the medical equipment depressed her and left. The second time, she came asking for money for a huge modeling opportunity in Miami. When Grandma hesitated, Amy guilted her by saying she never asked for anything, a complete lie, and stormed out when she only got half the amount she wanted. The third visit was just to take photos of herself spoon-feeding Grandpa for her Instagram, complete with inspirational quotes about family. She left right after getting her photos. Grandpa passed away last year. Amy didn't come to the funeral, claiming she had an important photo shoot. She posted pool party photos that day. Grandma was heartbroken but not surprised. 3 months later, we lost Grandma too. Amy showed up to that funeral dressed inappropriately and took selfies by the casket. When the will was read, it revealed that Grandma and Grandpa left their house to me. It's worth about $800,000 in today's market. They left Amy $50,000 in cash, which honestly was more than she deserved given how she treated them. The will explicitly stated that the house should go to me because I was there for them when they needed care. Amy completely lost it. She started calling and texting everyone in the family, claiming I had manipulated our grandparents by living with them. She conveniently forgot to mention that she was offered the same opportunity to help care for them but refused because it would interfere with her career. She then tried to claim that Grandpa wasn't mentally competent after his stroke when they updated their will, but their lawyer had documentation proving otherwise. Last week, Amy showed up at my door crying. Turns out her latest boyfriend kicked her out after discovering she'd maxed out his credit cards. She demanded I sell the house and split the money with her. When I refused, she switched tactics, crying about how she's family and family should help each other. Rich coming from someone who couldn't be bothered to visit her dying grandparents. She then revealed she's $40,000 in debt from buying fake designer clothes and paying for fraudulent modeling opportunities. She thinks selling the house would solve all her problems. She'd pay off her debt and use the rest to become a full-time influencer. She has barely 3,000 followers. When I suggested she get a regular job instead, she said office work would ruin her brand image. Mom is siding with Amy, saying I'm being selfish and should help my sister. Even Dad called to lecture me about family obligations, ironic given his history. Extended family is divided. Some think I should help Amy since she's struggling, Others say she made her choices and has to live with them. I offered to help Amy find a job through my professional network, even though I know she'll probably burn those bridges too. She called me toxic and controlling. The house means everything to me. It's where I learned to cook with Grandpa, where I helped Grandma tend her roses, where I cared for them in their final years. Amy just sees dollar signs. Ida for refusing to sell or let her move in? Should I feel guilty about this? Update 1: The situation has exploded beyond anything I could have imagined. Amy has turned this into a social media circus, and the harassment has become unbearable. It started with a series of TikTok videos she posted about family betrayal and elder abuse. The first video showed her crying in what I later realized was her ex's bathroom. She color filtered it to look dingy and added sad music. She told a completely twisted version of events, claiming I isolated our grandparents and manipulated them during Grandpa's illness. She edited together clips from her few visits to make it look like she was a constant presence. There's footage of her spoon-feeding Grandpa, that one photo shoot visit, helping Grandma in the garden. She was actually just posing with the roses for Instagram, and caring for them, all staged photos from the same day. She even used Grandpa's stroke as a prop, saying I took advantage of his condition to force them to change their will. The video went viral, getting over 100,000 views. Other influencers started sharing it, adding their own dramatic reactions. Amy's followers, mostly teenagers who believe everything they see online, started a hashtag campaign, #JusticeForAmy. They're calling me every horrible name imaginable and making up wild theories about how I must have abused our grandparents. These people started digging into my life. They found my LinkedIn profile and began harassing my workplace. My boss received dozens of calls and emails demanding I be fired for elder abuse. Thank God he knows the truth. He remembers how supportive he was when I needed to work remotely to care for Grandpa. Still, HR had to get involved because people were leaving fake negative reviews about our firm. The harassment spread to my other social media accounts. I had to delete Facebook after getting hundreds of hateful messages. Someone even posted my address online, and now Amy's followers drive by my house taking videos. They think they're gathering evidence of my supposed wealth hoarding, but they're really just filming a home I legally inherited and worked hard to maintain. But the worst part is how Amy manipulated our extended family into this mess. She reached out to all our cousins with a sob story about being homeless. She conveniently left out the part about maxing out her ex's credit cards. When our cousin Emma offered her a spare room, Amy declined, saying she couldn't live that far from her modeling opportunities, meaning she couldn't use Emma's modest apartment as a backdrop for her Instagram posts. Our Aunt Susan was initially Amy's biggest supporter. That changed after Amy's followers found Susan's small jewelry business page and flooded it with negative reviews, demanding she hold her evil niece accountable. That's when Susan finally snapped and revealed the truth about the $20,000 Amy borrowed. Apparently, Amy claimed it was for a modeling contract with a prestigious agency. Susan later discovered the agency was a scam, but Amy had already spent the money on a luxury vacation in Bali to build her brand. The most painful part is my mom's involvement. Amy moved in with her a month ago, and it's been chaos. Mom called me crying last night about how her apartment has become Amy's personal studio. Amy rearranged all the furniture for better shooting angles and refuses to put anything back. She invited a group of aspiring influencers over for a content creation day that turned into a party. They damaged Mom's antique coffee table but claimed it was already wobbly. Mom's electricity bill has tripled because Amy sets up ring lights and equipment for her videos. She's taking over every room for her shoots, even rearranged Mom's bedroom because it has better natural light. But Mom won't set boundaries because she's afraid Amy will post about her next. I tried reaching out to Amy one last time, meeting her for coffee to discuss job opportunities. A friend's company was hiring entry-level marketing positions, perfect for someone interested in social media. Amy recorded our entire conversation without my knowledge. She later posted edited clips where she spliced together parts of my sentences to make it sound like I was mocking her career choices. She captioned it "Toxic sister tries to destroy my dreams again." The final betrayal came when she contacted my ex-boyfriend, James. For context, James cheated on me 4 years ago with a coworker. Amy knew how devastated I was. She even posted about being there for me during the breakup. She wasn't. Now she messaged him asking for dirt on me, suggesting they team up to expose my true character. James was decent enough to forward me the messages and apologized for our past. She's even started claiming that Grandpa's signature on the updated will looks suspicious. The lawyer has ironclad documentation, including video footage of Grandpa clearly stating his wishes, but Amy tells her followers this just proves how deep the manipulation goes. Mom keeps pushing me to give in, saying I should sell the house to keep the peace. She doesn't understand that this isn't about money anymore. Amy crossed a line by exploiting our grandparents' memory for social media fame. She's trying to destroy my reputation and career because she can't accept the consequences of her own actions. I've started documenting everything for legal purposes. My lawyer says Amy's videos could be considered defamation, but pursuing legal action might just give her more ammunition for her victim narrative. For now, I'm focusing on protecting myself and preserving our grandparents' true memory, not the twisted version Amy's created for likes and views. Update 2: The situation has taken an even darker turn. Last week, I received a certified letter from Amy's lawyer. She's suing me for half the house's value, claiming she was an equal caregiver to our grandparents, and was unfairly cut out of her inheritance. Her evidence is laughable: those staged Instagram photos from her rare visits, a handful of grocery receipts from when she picked up things for Grandma, always expensive items that she got reimbursed for, and 3 birthday cards where Grandma wrote "We love you both equally." The lawyer's letter included statements from Amy's followers who claimed they witnessed her taking care of our grandparents through her social media posts. She's also trying to use Mom as a witness, claiming Mom can testify about all the times Amy helped. Mom later admitted to me she never actually saw Amy help, but she's afraid of contradicting Amy's story. But karma has a way of revealing the truth. While gathering evidence for my lawyer, I was going through Grandma's belongings in her old desk. Hidden in a locked drawer, I found her diary. What I discovered made me physically sick. The diary detailed years of Amy's manipulation and theft. Starting from when she was in college, Amy had been constantly asking our grandparents for money. The amounts were staggering: $15,000 for a modeling workshop in Paris. She actually went partying with friends. $30,000 for a talent agent, who turned out to be a scammer. $25,000 for professional photography equipment. She bought designer bags instead, and various smaller amounts that added up to over $100,000. Grandma wrote heartbreaking entries about how they dipped into their retirement savings to help Amy, believing her promises that she was on the verge of a big break. They wanted to support her dreams, even when their financial advisor warned them against giving her more money. Amy knew exactly how to play on their emotions, crying about how no one believed in her and how she'd pay them back once she was famous. But the most shocking revelation was about Grandma's diamond necklace, a family heirloom that had been passed down for 4 generations. The necklace mysteriously disappeared 6 years ago. Grandma wrote that she had seen Amy wearing it in an Instagram post, then noticed it missing from her jewelry box. When she confronted Amy privately, Amy claimed she had borrowed it for a photo shoot and lost it. Later, Grandma discovered Amy had actually sold it to cover credit card debt. Grandma was devastated but never told anyone because she didn't want to cause family drama or ruin Amy's reputation. She wrote about crying herself to sleep, not just because of the lost heirloom, but because of Amy's betrayal. That necklace was supposed to come to me on my wedding day. Grandma had promised it to me when I was little. The diary explained why Amy's visits became so rare. She was avoiding our grandparents because of the guilt, or more likely, because she knew they'd figured out her lies. Yet she still had the audacity to ask them for money, always through tearful phone calls rather than face-to-face visits. I confronted Mom with the diary. She broke down and confessed she knew about the necklace all along. Amy had told her a different story, claiming Grandma had given her permission to sell it because she needed the money more than some old woman needed jewelry. Mom chose to believe Amy's version and helped cover it up, afraid that exposing the truth would ruin Amy's chances in the modeling industry. When I asked why she never told me about the necklace, Mom said she thought I would overreact and destroy Amy's dreams. She actually suggested I should keep the diary secret because exposing Amy now would be cruel given her current struggles. I was speechless. Even with proof of Amy's years of deception, Mom was still enabling her. I sent copies of the relevant diary entries to my lawyer. They're clear evidence that our grandparents were mentally competent and made deliberate choices about their will based on our behavior. The entries also document how Amy manipulated them financially, which destroys her claim that I was the manipulative one. The revelations have divided our family even further. Most relatives are disgusted by the necklace theft, but a few still defend Amy, saying she was young and desperate when she did it. Mom begged me not to show the diary to anyone else, claiming it would destroy Amy's brand. She seems more concerned about Amy's social media career than the fact that her younger daughter stole from and manipulated her elderly grandparents. Update 3: The court dismissed Amy's lawsuit after her lawyer saw the diary evidence. Amy tried to claim the diary was fake, but a handwriting expert confirmed it was genuine. She then switched tactics and posted a tearful video claiming the diary proved how mentally unwell Grandma was. This backfired spectacularly when her followers realized she was admitting the diary was real while simultaneously calling our grandmother unstable. The aftermath has been brutal but necessary. After the truth about the necklace came out, Most of our relatives cut contact with Amy. Even our family friends who've known us since childhood blocked her on social media. The only person still firmly in Amy's corner is Mom, who's now dealing with the consequences of her enabling. Amy is still living with Mom, but the situation has become unbearable. Mom called me crying last week because Amy got banned from 3 different rental agencies for her awful credit history and sketchy references. Now she's saying she'll never move out because family helps family. She's turned Mom's once peaceful apartment into a content creation house, inviting random influencers over at all hours. Mom's electricity bill hit $600 last month from all the lighting equipment, but Amy refuses to contribute. I thought I was done being shocked by Amy's behavior, but I was wrong. Last month, I discovered she had somehow gotten a copy of my house key. Mom later admitted giving it to Amy in case of emergencies. The real reason came out when my security cameras caught Amy sneaking in while I was at work. She was staging photos in different rooms, pretending the house was her new luxury property. She even filmed a house tour video claiming she'd manifested her dream home. I immediately changed all the locks and installed additional security cameras. Amy retaliated by posting more lies about me, but her follower count has dropped significantly since the diary revelations. Her influencer friends abandoned her once they realized associating with her could damage their own brands. The final straw came when I found out Amy had taken Grandpa's handwritten recipe book and tried to sell copies online as exclusive family recipes passed down through generations. She was charging $50 per digital copy. Aunt Susan helped me get the listings taken down and recover the original book, which now sits safely in my kitchen where it belongs. I've gone completely no contact with both Amy and Mom. Mom still sends daily messages saying I'm being cruel and need to forgive Amy because she's lost everything. She doesn't understand that Amy hasn't lost anything, she threw it all away through her own choices. The house feels peaceful now. I've restored Grandma's garden to its former glory and started a small herb patch like the one Grandpa used to maintain. Some family members who initially sided with Amy have reached out to apologize after seeing her true colors. Cousin Emma visits regularly now, and we cook from Grandpa's recipes together. Amy's followers still drive by occasionally, but they've mostly lost interest since she can't maintain her fake lifestyle without access to my house. Last I heard, she's telling people she's writing a tell-all book about family betrayal. Mom says I should be worried, but I'm done caring about Amy's lies. Some might think I'm harsh for cutting off my sister and mother, but after years of manipulation and lies, followed by social media harassment and attempted theft, I'm finally at peace with my decision. The house isn't just property, it's the legacy of 2 people who showed me what real love and family means. I won't dishonor their memory by enabling Amy's behavior like they did when they were alive. Amy made her choices long ago when she decided followers and likes were more important than family. Now she can live with those choices.